Adrian. Ladies and gentlemen, Adrian is alive. There is no need for a memorial.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you very much, Roshan. And now, because you have all been so good, we're going to have a surprise segment, and it's the audience participation segment. So during this segment, you all can make comments, you can ask questions, you can even channel Adrian and make total bloody fun of us. All right? Put your hands up if you've got something to say, and I will spoil the filming by coming out to the front. They're now panicking about the angle, and I'll come out to the front, and if you put your hand up, I will give the mic to you, and you get to say something. Do I have a comment from the audience? Do I have a comment? Going once? Come on, I'm sure you can. Meanwhile, while you're thinking of your witty comment, from far, far away, Ovidia Yu, who used to be one of the OG, like Gui and like Adrian, indeed, now in the very first few debates, you know. Some of these people were in the debates, but only recently, you know. Adrian actually is the only one who is both an OG and a survivor. He outwit, he outlast, and he outplayed everybody. He was there in the first one. He was also there in the last one just recently in November last year. So Ovidia says, and she's arguing in favor of the opposition. Adrian was much more than a writer, and a writer's memorial wouldn't be enough. Much better to simply rename landmarks named after distant queen for our local King Adrian, starting with renaming Queenstown, Kingstown, and Victoria Theatre, Adriana Theatre. All right. Ovidia Yu, everyone. Ovidia Yu. All right, do I have a comment? Come on. One of you. Yes, yes. Your comment.
If you had a DYS, I would buy it and I would study it.
If he had a...
If a DYS did come out, I would...
A 10-year series, I'm too old, sorry.
sorry. Yes, okay. I would get it.
You would get it?
I would get it.
Rather than a memorial, we should put the money for the memorial into the TYS. Okay,
yes,
got it.
Because
you can print it more, absolutely. And in fact, save the trees. You can even put it online, right? Okay, here we have the younger generation has spoken. The younger generation. Those of us with grey hairs, we do not know what we're talking about. Sorry, I'm sorry. Only I really have grey hair. Only I. The rest of them, they put the highlights there. It's really not grey hair. All right, any other comments, questions, rubbishing the speakers from the audience, please? Anyone? Don't
shy.
Please don't shy. Yes.
I'm sure Adrian, as a lifelong Tottenham supporter, he will want to wait till his team wins an award before having a memorial.
I'm not so sure about my football, but might that take a while? Yeah, I don't know. I was watching the US women's soccer. Now I'm very sad already. Better not get sadder. All right. Any other questions, comments, thoughts here from the audience? Yes, I saw one. All right, here we go.
Actually, I don't think it's a comments, but it's just some things that I went for the last event when he was sharing in National Library. So he was just saying these things about during the teenage time, every couple was having the friendship band. And actually, I was like, I'm so sad because I was telling him, okay, I shall do you one. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Well, thank you. And I think we'll go Adrian. He'll be here and he'll say thank you. I appreciate the friendship then, right? Okay. Any other? Yes, right there at the back. I'm going to see whether I can get to you. Wow, this is the only exercise I get today. Okay.
Can it be a gold memorial? Like the statue is in gold.
Okay, so if the proposition wins, minimum it must be gold, okay?
Yeah, solid gold.
Yeah. Hey, some of you are old enough in here to actually know solid gold, what it refers to. Can we all get up together? 1, 2, 3. Solid gold. All right, so on that note, We'll come back to the funny and crazy part of the debate. No. And we will ask Mr. Miyagi, third speaker for the opposition, to close the case for the opposition.
Wait, bear with me while I put the mic stand back to midget mode. I think better take this out. Okay, so you mentioned us building something as crass and mutated as a half fish, half lion thing. You bet that's going to happen. And by the way, the merlion is the world's first catfish. And just because Adrian was the king of Singapore, we also have to be mindful that the era of monarchies is over already, right? I mean, why are we still, putting public money into supporting something that is not... See me? Cannot, man. But seriously though, and then we were talking about the meaning of memorials, right? I mean, all of us have different interpretations of the meanings, but when we get together and form a committee to build something, you know it's going to be crass, right? You know it's going to be obscene. Seriously, what's the point? Here we are, orphans of Adrian's influence, trying to figure out how to remind ourselves of the good this good man did. All this sibling squabbling already started, right? Huh? Still bickering over what Adrian would have wanted. How long will it take, seriously? Renovate or demolish, preserve or tear down? What's the status now? I don't think we're going to figure this out before one or more of us is exiled. First of all, Adrian was not the kind of man that would have wanted us to erect anything for his pleasure. You knew him. He would have wanted or appreciated something gentler. Crass monuments were not for him. He's not the kind of man who would want that. What are we trying to achieve? Are we expecting Adrian to look down and say, hey, is that a memorial you've erected for me, or are you just glad to see me? Huh? Then, just now we talked about what the memorial will contain, right? I mean, what does a writer's memorial contain? We starve for ideas already. 2 concrete blocks, like what, bookends? Actually, that's an idea, huh? Adrian Tan bookends, not bad. Okay. If it were to contain his books, there weren't many. Ek Keng would attest to that. Not a very profitable author to publish. If he had more than a few books, then maybe a little shrine in the National Library would suffice, right? I understand that he wrote quite a bit of op-eds, feature articles in various publications and magazines, including SPH newspapers, although we might have to discount that number by about 10%. But if it were magazines and newspapers, then we don't need to build a memorial. We just need to build a doctor's waiting room. And then there's a question of where to build it. Where would we build this new and shiny and obscene thing? How many years would it take to do so before we get to remember Adrian with artifacts? Would we reclaim land? Maybe. That's not the kind of conquest the King of Singapore would have wanted. Would we then have to invoke the Land Acquisition Act and take over some poor sort's landed property? Although that might be easy because several dozen bungalows have recently been seized in that massive money laundering bust a few days ago. Or do we honor Adrian's humble beginnings and build it within our public housing estates? Can, right? Then we would argue, mature estate or new estate. How? Start bickering. Take over Queenstown or give the chance for new estates to build some character because everything looks the same. Build it in Bidadari, or better yet, honor his alma mater and build it in Tengah. Yes, it's ridiculous. As ridiculous as the suggestion that we take over the Ridout Road bungalows, But I can't go any further. I've been advised that the Ngee Ann Kongsi Theatre does not afford parliamentary privilege, so I'll stop right there. It's a slippery slope, I tell you. Memorial, monument first, then monumental merchandise next, right? What are we going to have? If we don't stop this rubbish right now, we'll be researching Taobao for the minimum order quantity of a batch of Adrian Tan plushies or dolls. And Adrian was no Ken. And then what? There'll be no end to this nonsense. Imagine, like a LKY memorial, right? They're building one called the Founders Memorial. It already started, So stand by for LKY standees. Life-size one. Complete with piercing eyes and booming voice. Batteries not included, nor are they necessary because your PTSD flashbacks will be sufficient to power it. What next? Founding Father health supplements. I bet you it's coming. Ferret capsules, because whoever governs this country must have that iron in him. While we're at it, why not have this is not a game of cards, deck of cards. This is your life and mine. Okay, I'll stop it. But it will never stop there. A physical, bright and shiny brick and mortar memorial would be a monumental mistake. And the beginning of the end of how we should properly remember Adrian. Instead, let us all be living memorials and keep carrying his kindness and ever readiness to help others.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Benjamin. Unfortunately, indeed, it won't stop there. We have one more speaker, and it is Gwee Sui, last speaker for the proposition, to bring it home. You need something from me?
Not blocking you.
Okay. No, it's fine. And because it's an arts production, we don't have a proper timer. But if you really, really go on too long, then I will start doing this. Okay? All right.
You will know that
Don't like this, lah.
person that she needs to do this.
Yeah. No, it's a life experience.
Haven't started. Friends, Singaporeans, countrymen, and women, lend me your ears. I've come to remember Adrian, not to praise him. The evil that writers do live after them. The lawyers are often interred with their bones. So, let it be with Adrian. The noble opposition has told you Adrian was memorable, but he didn't need a memorial. He is too memorable for a memorial. If this makes sense to you, surely you are at grievous fault, and grievously has my team been refuting it. Here, under leave of Adrian's family and his publisher, Goh Ek King, for Adrian is a funny man. So are they all funny men and women. Under their leave, come I to speak at the expense of my birthday mood, which is in 2 days' time. Please take note. He was my friend, jolly and cheery to me, yet the opposition says he is memorable, but ultimately not memorializable. And the opposition are funny men. Adrian has given many Singaporeans our first readable singlet books. You know what I mean? The profits from which landmark books coffers fill. Did this in Adrian seem unmemorializable? When his readers has chuckled, Adrian has laughed all the way to the bank with Goet King. Memorials should be made of such sterner stuff, where we are willing to put our money where our mouths are. Yet, the opposition says he is memorable, but rejects a memorial. And the opposition are funny men. You all saw at SWF how for 10 years I debated him, or rather we talk on a whole slew of stupid topics. I would vex him, say he sounded older than he looked, and looked older than he sounded. I would annoy him, speak in Singlish, ask about his next novel, call him a PAP stooge, which actually he was quite happy to admit. In turn, he made us laugh and laugh and laugh some more. His team won more times than mine did because I let him. He had a top legal eagle's reputation to preserve. In recent years, he took to LinkedIn, even though he wasn't looking for a job. Or maybe he was. Then he posted article after article that once again made us laugh, after proclaiming himself King of Singapore. By the way, there is now a vacancy which some presidential hopefuls may wish to consider should things not work out. Were these not memorable? Yet, this opposition say he doesn't need a memorial. And sure, the opposition, they are funny men. My valiant team speaks today, not to disprove what the other team has spoken, but here we are to speak what we only know. We all loved Adrian Tan once, not without reason. What reason withholds us now that some of us will not want a towering statue of him in porcelain because he's so fragile, preferably erected next to the Malayan. Adrian Tan by the Malayan. We will need a poem for that too. Malayan, Adrian. O judgment, thou art fled from fishing populists, and our men have lost their fidelity. Bear with me, my heart is in the brochure with Adrian, and I must pause a bit till it returns to me. Just yesterday, the words of King Adrian might have captivated the world. Now, people will only come to a free event on a weekend afternoon to do him reverence. Members of this audience, if I were to stir your souls to want to raise a monument to Adrian, I would do the ad man, Mr. Miyagi, wrong, and the military man, Joshua Yip, wrong, and the state prosecutor, Terence Chua, wrong. These, all of you know, are funny men. I will not do them wrong. But look here. Here is a letter which Adrian wrote. I found it in my copy of the teenage textbook. It may be his lost will. Yes, there is always another will these days. Let the common Singaporeans hear this, and they will rush to buy up from Goh Ek King all copies of the current memorial edition of the teenage textbook and the teenage workbook and the DVDs of the teenage textbook movie and stack them up high into a monument. Okay, at this point, audience participation, you shout, read the will. Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read this will yet. It is not me. You know how Adrian loved you. You are not ChatGPT. You are not civil servants. You are humans. And being humans, hearing the will of Adrian, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. Good friends, don't let me stir you into such frenzy. This isn't Speaker's Corner, and while Rice has no special permit, besides, I am no orator, not like Benjamin, not like Joshua or Terence. I am just a humble hermit uncle who loves his dear dead friend, dead, buried, or cremated friend. Hopefully dead now that he's either buried or cremated. I have no wit or weight or worth or Singapore Literature Prize or cultural medallion to stir your blood. I speak things only as they are, show you what you have already known, show you this, my own still unsigned copy of the teenage textbook. And I wish that every page can become a tongue that will speak for me. Here then is Adrian's will. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. My Oxley house, I live. To every Singapore citizen, in perpetuity, replacement copies for their worn-out, tattered, second-hand teenage textbook, free of charge, to be covered by my publisher. And the opposition, who Gui says will be arguing at my memorial for other ways to remember me. And one free copy of the teenage workbook for every O and A-level kid who takes literature when MOE finally includes my books as reading text. See, here was a Singapore writer whom we still debate whether to raise a great monument to. When comes another? Build the memorial. Yeah. Thank you.
Royalties were indeed given to Shakespeare. And now, in the age-old tradition of the SWF debate, we will decide which side made the most valiant arguments. And we, of course, understand that one side had a very tough uphill battle, given the sentiment in this room. And yet, valiantly fought. So let's, in the age-old way, what we are going to do is we're going to see which side you shout the loudest for, all right? Which side you shout the loudest for, all right? So first, do not build a memorial. Come on, do not build a memorial. Yay! Woo! Woo! All right, that sounded robust indeed. And now for the proposition, build a memorial. I think there's some presidential hopefuls who wish they could get quite this much enthusiasm. But look, okay, so all of those out there who are arts, organizers or civil servants or donors, you've heard the people speak. They want a memorial for Adrian Tan. Yes, but because we are writers and this is art, we're also aware that the funding is unlikely to ever come. And if that's the case, though, we are resilient and we have the plan B, because we know Adrian is too big to be contained in a memorial, and we carry him with us, even as we leave this hall.
No, I think Adrian would be wonderfully happy fielding our responses to who he is, who he was, and how he has contributed to our society. So it is a case, I can hear him, it's a laughing matter. It's something that he would, really feel so proud of, to know that all of you have come to remember him. So we are all actually talking about memorial, but we have decided that we will inaugurate a series of books based on humor writing, because of all the writers in Singapore, Adrian is one of the few who writes humor. So Landmark Books will inaugurate a series of humor anthologies. It's open call. We will give details later, but it will be named after Adrian.
I'm very surprised I'm not in the will, by the way. Thank you to Rose and Renfred, Ivan Heng, and Wild Rice Theatre, The Necessary State, Chris Studio, Media Club, all my speakers, National Library Board, thank you performers, presenters, and debaters. To my kids, Bethany, Cameron, and Natasha, are helping out various items. Thanks to each and every one of you for coming out to celebrate everything Adrian today. God bless you. And I leave you with a quote from my brother's favorite book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If you know it, say along with me. So long, and thanks for the fish. Good night.